Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try, but it's a Perry today. It's a Perry from a producer I've never had a Perry from before. Heard of them, never had anything from them. I've got a cider to try from them as well. So who is it? It is Napton Cidery. There you go. Napton Cidery. If you can see that, there you go. It's better, isn't it? Limited edition recipe, Shropshire Perry, small batch Perry, 4.6%, 750ml. Delicious dry still Perry fermented with wild yeast and matured to perfection. Made with a blend of gin, brandy, Henry Hubcap, Judge Ampler, which I think I've had before, Green Horse, definitely had before, and Tainted Squash. Grown and harvested in a delightful farm in Shropshire countryside. Harvested 2019. Bottle number 151, batch 03. No artificial colourings, no concentrates, no sweeteners, no artificial preservatives. Pretty cool, huh? So I think they started in 2015. Just started making cider. What I read on their website, they started making cider with what was growing in their own garden, and then they started collecting apples and pears and so forth from surrounding, orchards and people's gardens and stuff like that. So using stuff that would otherwise be wasted. So an excellent thing to be doing. We like it very much, but I've never had anything from them before. I've got this and the cider, as I said. I thought I'd start with the Perry. It's only 4.6%, and I fancied having a Perry. So it's still wild yeast, no pop obviously, no smoking gun obviously. Can't see what colour it is. Some great examples of Perry pears there though. Brilliant blend, really interesting. So this colour is already looking quite interesting to me. It reminds me a bit of the Ragged Stone Perry that we had, which did not have a typical Perry colour. That's quite a lot darker, isn't it? Almost looks like grapefruit juice or something, that, to me. Really interesting, hazy, so unfiltered. Amazing colour. Yeah, so most Perrys are quite pale in colour. Often like very pale gold, green. This has got loads of colour. Yeah, but I'm going to say grapefruit juice, I reckon. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Put it in a big glass, which I'm still loving. Let's have a sniff. Okay, so super delicate nose, but I am detecting a little bit of pear. And actually, now is this just my imagination? Almost a hint of grapefruit. I think I'm getting a hint of grapefruit. I'm sure this isn't grapefruit juice, but it looks a bit like it, and I'm getting a bit of that on the nose. Very delicate nose, super delicate, but there is almost a citrus character, and then it's like the sweet pear character. Yeah, let's try it. Looking forward to this. It's quite firm tannins, and it is bone dry. Quite unusual for a Perry, because usually there's sorbitol in there, non-fermentable alcohol, sugar alcohol. They will give you some sweetness. I mean, maybe this is the merest hint, but it's got, again, almost a grapefruit juice character to it. There's a citrus element, but like a tart citrus element. It's not lemon, it's not orange, doesn't make me think of grapefruit. There's a hint of pithiness about it as well. What an interesting Perry. Very delicate. I mean, it's quite cold, but still. Yeah, firm tannins. It's quite like, there's like a grapefruit juice character, but it's not mouth puckeringly acid like a grapefruit juice would be. There's a pithiness, there's that tannin. There is some acidity, quite low, not super acid to be honest with you. I mean, I think some of the stuff you get, like Green Horse, is a pretty acid varietal. I know that for a fact. So I don't know what the blend is, but this doesn't feel like it's got like a big dose of like Green Horse in it. It has got some acidity, but it's not super acid. So this is a really interesting cider. Perry, come on Chris, engage your brain. Perry, delicate on the nose. It does feel like I'm drinking some sort of citrus juice / pear drink. It is very dry for a cider as well, but quite rich in texture. Very, very, very different sort of perry. This very different. My brain's kind of trying to work it out. It's not what I expected at all. I don't recall having a perry that tasted quite like this before. It almost tastes, because of that kind of fruitiness, that sort of grapefruit element. It always makes me feel more like it's culinary or dessert pears. I know that it isn't, but it's doing things that are just so different texturally and so forth to a traditional perry that, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Do I like it? Yeah, I think I do. But it's confounded my expectations, and expectation is a big part of enjoyment. So I'm trying to get my brain around it. Really interesting, though. I mean, what these guys are doing is really interesting. I mean, they're doing, you know, they're letting the fruit speak for itself, absolutely. And what it's saying is something quite different to what I've heard fruit say before. Yeah, so forget that analogy. But you know what I mean? It's really interesting. Really interesting. If you get a hold of some Napton stuff, I recommend you do. I'm looking forward to trying their cider now, actually. See what that's like. Because this has confounded me. It's so different. Really interesting. Really interesting. Thank you, Napton Cidery, for giving me something very different to anything I've had before. I always enjoy that, as long as it tastes good. And this does taste good. Just didn't taste as I expected. Alright, guys. Thank you for joining me in my shed. I hope you join me again. But until then, cheers.